with that, would we like to cut to the next day?
Sure.
Sure.
How would you like to start your day?
Gotta get some clothes. We're naked.
Sounds great. Everybody, give me, I guess, credit ratings checks. We're actually doing it. We're not going to have a shopping like in-depth thing. You can just tell me what you bought.
No, my verisimilitude. Hells yeah!
Success.
I rolled an 11, so I succeeded as well.
Succeed. Okay,
Yep.
so what would you like to buy while you're out? And I'll tell you if you can or can't. Because you can't be like, I buy a bazooka. Like, no.
I would like a bazooka face.
Two bazookas.
I buy a 4-finger tracking machine.
You get like 1 million pings on it because it's not.
Yeah, exactly. It's not refined. It just filters to every person with 4 fingers in the world.
But no, you don't pay that.
Just respectable looking clothes. Knockoffs of a nice brand, if possible. We are
You can.
in Shanghai.
Would you like those clothes? Would you like to make it so that you look very different when you wear them? Like, because
Sure.
as a disguise kind of thing, because there's
sure.
wanted posters. Describe your new look then.
What I'm
What I'm wearing.
What I'm
Look
wearing.
at me.
Look at me. I don't know, just different colors, different fit, different style suit, you know. I don't know. A different
pretty
shaped
nice.
hat. Yeah, nice. I want to
Different
look
shape.
respectable, but you know,
it's a bowler cap, so it's like your top hat, but they just cut a few inches off.
right. It's called a trilby, excuse me. Sure.
What about Max and Reginald?
Looking up 1920s Shanghai men's fashion.
There you go. That's, I'll make it up. I am wearing a linen like shirt that has a super deep cut V that goes all the way to my belly button with blue and gold like patterns on like the inside. So it's just kind of what's it called? Like a strip of fabric that goes all the way there. And I'm wearing like white linen pants and like brown Birkenstock style
Beautiful.
sandals. And my mustache is curled down instead of up to make me look completely different.
I am wearing this, except the coat is, I posted it in our Facebook chat. It's wearing white pants, black shoes, polished. Now, the coat is a little bit more of a tan with a white shirt underneath, a green bow tie, and I've parted like 4 of my hairs down the middle. I'm not wearing my helmet.
Lei is just wearing a tank top and like corduroys.
What's that red hat that reminds you of like Moroccan hat?
Fez?
A fez. I'm wearing a fez.
Max Wessel would wear a fez. He definitely would. Absolutely. Yeah, and Lei's just wearing like a tank top and just like corduroy jeans and stuff like that. Like, or what are they called? The type of like pants that are like nice, but they're kind of made out of the same stuff as like the teddy bear. I don't remember what they're called, but I guess they're like they got those
Cashmere?
lines in them.
That's corduroy.
Yeah, okay, I was right. Yeah, corduroy pants. And then he just has his normal dress shoes on. He looks very much like a working man in China. Like he doesn't. He's. You guys seem to be semi-dressed to the nines. He's just like, I don't know. I thought we were supposed to blend in. But Lei has always been kind of more of a working man kind of dude. Like he's not nearly as fancy as you all are. He was a gangster, so it's just like he's comfortable. That's all he wants to be. So, but yeah. So that takes, I don't know. I want to say you did that at you started at 9. You're at one of the clothing stores and you notice that the Daily News is up and it looks like there's been another beheading somewhere over the course of the night on Junkin Street. So that's alarming. But by now it's probably been cleaned up because it happened so late at night. So, and then, yeah, but now it's about, I want to say like 10, 11 in the morning.
All right, I think we have the name of the club, do we not? I think.
I'll say, why don't we go get some brunch at the Belt King Social Club?
The Belt King Social Club.
We have, really quickly, do we have a record of when the 4-fingered man won it big? You know, because like there's some that are pretty well known, the trifecta. Is there a correlation between that and when the beheadings were happening?
You look into that.
Like a pattern?
Well, okay. You can look into that. However, you would have to find a place that you would be able to look into that at. And places you can do that, because this is more of like a looking deeper into things thing. You can look into that at a local newspaper. You can look into that at a police station with their public records. Although China gets a little weird. Their municipal police is not as transparent, I want to say, as like United States. Like, so they won't have public records for everything. Especially with how China and with the North China News, that you know the guy who runs it, specifically says they literally make the news not trustworthy sometimes to make things look better than they are. But you might be able to talk to that guy. But there's got to be places that you, and then like Town Hall or even Victor Sassoon himself might have information about that kind of stuff for you, where you can kind of look more into that stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. It's a lead. I don't want to derail anything that we're doing. I'm just trying to see if there's like the guy just won big last night. There was a.
It's a good question. Yeah, because Max was asking yesterday, is there some correlation between the beheadings and the four-fingered man winning? So that is a great question.
Perfect. Well, gentlemen, what do we want to pursue today? Well, gentlemen, what do we want to pursue today? I'd like to see if there's any correlation between these beheadings and the winnings. Perhaps it requires some kind of blood sacrifice, or perhaps there's something to the cranial tissue that allows them to see the future.
My personal vote's still for going to the club for some brunch and sing about this singer. But perhaps we could divide our investigative team in half.
You can. Yeah, you can meet back up at the Belt King Social Club after you look in at City Hall or something like that, or however you want to look into it. There's a few different ways to do it.
Yeah, let's split the party. Let's split this up. There's no imminent danger.
Yeah, you're not being chased by a catfish. Lace is like, you're not being chased by a catfish right now, at least.
Exactly.
Which I only heard about in passing. That all happened when I was looking for you.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So, sounds like Max is pretty smart. How do we want to split this? I'm happy to go on my own. I'm not really worried, but
we could take Lei with you. I think that seems
right.
Yeah, it might have a easier time reading Chinese newspapers.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, Lei and he maybe can take me to some like the best place to start, kind of a thing. So,
sure. I mean, any of those leads is cool for you. We'll go with you, William, for a little bit, because we'll kind of make it so that you, like, we're not gonna super duper. Okay. But so who would you like to go to learn this information?
I guess first I need to get a listing of maybe it's easier, maybe it's not. I want to get an accurate recording of when the beheadings started, and like specific dates.
Okay, the best person, based on what you know, two places you can go. One, you can go to the Mythos Mystery Society. Their headquarters, wherever they're staying up in Shanghai. Lilith, that's her name, gave you a card that had their current address on it. They actually might be the best, because they have been looking into the beheadings. Okay. They also have probably easy ways for you to get any other information.
Perfect. Let's start there. To the Mythos Mystery Society.
Sure. They said the name of the thing. Okay. So yeah, you head there. It's like kind of like the shitty apartment in a bad part of town. It's like, and it's like the door you go in, you go down some stairs, and then there's like people arguing through the windows. In the top, there's like, it's just not really a great part of town, but you go down in there. They've put like a paper sign on the door that says, it shows like the eyeball logo. And it says Mythos Mystery Society, but it's written in Chinese instead. But yeah, you go in and you see Sam, or Vic, actually, you know his real name. I don't know why I called him Sam. But Sam is laying in like a lounge chair in the corner, and he's got like an ice pack on his face and like a bandage on his nose, and like he's snoring really loud in one of the chairs. You see the two other people that you remember from the cruise line, who are real named, are Harrison and Lilith, and you recognize Lilith the most, probably. But Harrison, you recognize really well, because you guys had a lot of conversations with together. He was the one who wanted to know better systems for taking notes on things. Yeah, so you were pretty buddy-buddy with Harrison. Harrison is currently on the phone talking to somebody that he keeps calling Goody, about other things that are going on at the moment. He's trying to get more information about different Shanghai-related gangs and stuff like that. And Lilith is free, and Lilith sees you come in, and she's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Doing okay. I don't know if you want to role play out the whole thing with
a little bit. We can do it quick.
15 minutes, sure. Yeah. I have a hunch. We're still on the tail of the. I don't know why I'm talking like Reginald. We're still on the tail of the four-fingered man. And
it's infectious.
It's infectious. Just like his rash. It's infectious. I was wondering if you have a clear record of the specific nights of the beheadings when they started. I know that maybe it was hard to recognize the pattern at first, or maybe not. There's not a beheading every day, but I have a hunch.
That's a good idea. We never thought about those two things being related. All right. Yeah, come on over here. And she leads you over to their stands of all their notes. And essentially, give me a library usage roll.
Oh my god, I'm going to use the fuck out of this library.
That was my favorite part about playing as Sebastian.
Man, I have a huge library use too.
Yeah, library usage is the funnest thing when you are playing as an actual librarian, because you're like, it's my time. And
you know what's
failed.
funny? I succeeded on every other fucking roll except that one. Okay, good.
You rolled a 96 out of 54, huh? Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's bad. Okay,
I'm not
so
going to be able to luck that finagle that one.
So what you can tell, it's hard to tell, unfortunately, because the Chinese newspapers that they're kind of using for before they arrived in Shanghai are not exactly accurate, and most of them have been buttered along. Some of them they're trying to think of dates when it started, so it's not clear. However, they did manage to find at least some correlation. There does appear to be, it seems like there's almost 3 beheadings to every 1 canidrome incident. And that's interesting. You don't know if there's actually a correlation for that, but it just seems like that is kind of a repeating pattern at least. So that's something. It's not like an exact science or anything, and it's hard to parse through all this shit, but that's probably as much as you can get out of it with a failed library use roll.
Got it. I wonder if maybe, not to drag it up, maybe to help corroborate, because their data is loose, right? Mythos, Mrs. Shy, they know what they know. You would list out off a couple of other sources. Maybe I can line up the data to what I've seen there to see if there's any aligned data points. Does that make sense? All right, well, they had these dates. I'm going to go to, I don't know, the newspaper or wherever and look and see, okay, well, what lines up with those to see, to try to eliminate some of the chaff? Is there a way to fix the fidelity?
I want to say the only thing that you can get out of it with a question like that, looking more into it, based on a failed library roll, is that it does seem like strange occurrences involving gang-related activity do start around the same time as the beheadings, which have been going on seemingly hand in hand for maybe a year now. Unfortunately, the newspaper does not call them gangs and does not list what gang it is. You see it worded differently: vagrants, ruffians, hooligans. And every single one of these ends with, but the police handled it, even if they maybe didn't. But that's all you get from this kind of propaganda-based news engine. But at least that's a starting point, that there is something. You can tell there's gotta be something. It's just hard to figure out what exactly it is.
Okay.
And with that, were you gonna leave to go meet the guys at the Belt King Social Club?
Yep.
Before you do, a bit of lore. This has to happen really quick. You see Vic laying in a chair, and he goes, "Hey, William, come here.
How may I help you, Vic?"
He's still got a cold pack on his eyes, so he doesn't even see you. He just knows you're here. And he's like, "I need you to do something." heard something about fish man. Okay. Take this. And he pulls a little card out of his pocket. And it's got like a business card, and he's drawn what looks like a star with a fire inside of it and a circle around it. He's like, if you guys don't have these yet, draw these on your guns if you're gonna fight shit like that, okay? Our friend Goody calls them Hawthorne sigils, and for some odd reason, they're very effective against weird fishmen.
Got it. Makes total
Godspeed,
sense.
sir. And he like passes out again. And with that, we're gonna cut back to Reginald and Max, who arrive at the Belt King Social Club, which looks like a 4-story building. Although the signs outside identify the building as the Belt King Social Club, the first floor is a greasy noodle shop. Its patrons are exclusively Chinese. A thin, fragile-looking man in a dirty old linen shirt is yelling in Shanghainese at the top of his lungs. The target is his wife, who, except for the very expensive-looking evening hat pinned to her head, wears drab peasant's clothes. At the back of the restaurant is a wide set of stairs, and 2 bored-looking men in gray western suits stand guard. Everyone in the noodle shop tries their best to ignore you. But yeah, so you arrive, basically you're outside, there's people seated outside, it's a noodle shop on the first floor, you can see it goes up 2 floors, it says Belt King Social Club, although you wouldn't know that, because it's written in Shanghainese. But you know that the address is correct, based on asking around, figuring out where it was, and everything like that.
Well, you see, Reggie, we blend right in, thanks to these new clothes.
we blend right. You start laughing at the top of your laugh.
I'd like to try to sit down at the bar or table and order a mango teeny before we start asking questions.
All right. You sit down at the bar, and you see everybody in the bar gives you stink eye, but nobody ends up dropping their conversation. The bartender doesn't pay attention to you. He's just wiping down glasses. Clearly could offer some assistance or take your order. Does not seem to want to.
I mean, I'll flash a little cash.
There it is. Okay. Roll me a credit rating really quick. Success. You got success on the first try anyway. Yeah, you flash enough money, and he's just like, all right, I'll bite. He doesn't say that, but that's essentially how he moves. And he puts the glass down. He kind of comes over to you guys, and he says what you can... Oh, okay, wait. Do any of you have language?
I have language, but I don't like...
I don't
It's just
have
my
language.
own.
That's fine.
Owned.
Just roll language.
I have psychology.
Roll language. I want to see if you can understand what he's saying enough.
Oh, man.
It might be basic enough that you can understand it.
I only got 20. Let me see. I rolled an 86. So, no, I don't.
You can only assume he asks, what are you having?
Is there... I point at something on the menu.
He kind of goes... He says something, seems kind of backhanded. He comes back with essentially just like a really hard looking liquor, and he puts it down in front of you.
And what's the name of her? Mary Z?
Yeah.
And I just say the name. Mary Z?
He kind of looks intrigued for a moment, and he says in English, it's kind of a little bit of a broken English. He's just like, you know Mary G?
We're supposed to be meeting her here.
He kind of looks like, roll fast talk. Let's see how much he believes you.
Sure, can we do charm?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Oh, yes, and I get a bonus die on charm rolls.
Because of your Pope skill.
Yep. I don't know. What is a bonus die? Does it matter which one I roll or no?
It's the 10 spot.
The 10. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
it's the better one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 23.
Okay. He's just like, she's, you're gonna have to talk to Kai about that.
Of course.
He kind of looks over to the 2 guards in front of the front door, And then he looks back at you. And he's just like, he's on 4th floor.
Take the bottle of liquor with me. You got a couple glasses.
They have them upstairs.
Okay.
He also takes the glass away from you.
I thought you said he put down like a bottle of hard liquor.
He put down what looked like a bottle of hard liquor. He pours you an actual bottle of hard liquor. You are about to drink cleaning solution.
All right, great.
And he hands that to you.
Great.
You see
So
the
I'm about to share this with the guys upstairs. So give me the whole bottle.
He does.
I'm on this guy's tab, and I hit Reggie on the shoulder and start walking towards
This
the
guy
elevator.
on the 4th floor must be pretty important, is what you get out of that.
Yes. Turn around
and-
quickly. Wait. Does the man on the 4th floor only speak in rhyme?
How did you know? He just kind of looks at you and goes, you're going to have to roll a charm check if you want anything more out of him.
I can pass it all
You've
day.
used it, essentially, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, if you've got to come back to him and use
Okay.
anything, you got to re-charm him, because he's like, you did something weird and ruined it. You ruined the magic.
That's what every significant other I've ever had has ever said to me.
Jesus. And I want to say at that point, William and Lei show up. Because it took you longer to get to the Belt King Social Club than it took William and Lei to do, like...
Hours of research.
Basically, yeah. Just so you're
Well,
all in the same
William,
area.
Lei, we've been invited to the 4th floor as VIPs with this nice bottle of liquor.
You said it's cleaning solution? Is
No,
what
that
you
one
said?
is a real bottle of liquor. He
Oh,
almost
okay.
gave him a bottle of cleaning solution because
Got
you
it,
could tell
got
the
it.
guy didn't know what he ordered. And he was going to trick him, but he was like... Then he
Going
gained
upstairs.
respect.
Got it.
My
Like-
impression is that they respect us here and that everything's going to be great.
I have no reason to doubt that. I will follow your lead. I'll just say, unfortunately, the Mythos Mystery Society's notes were a little bit scrambled, but I don't blame them. There seems to be some kind of correlation between the beheadings and the winnings, but nothing clear just yet. Hopefully, with a little bit more investigation, we can suss out what those connections are. So, we're on the right track, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry I couldn't bring you something more solid, boys.
Well, you had a good start. I told that nice gentleman over there, and I waved to him.
he doesn't pay attention to you at all. He's still cleaning the bottle. He sees you though. You see
I
him
keep
looking at
waving.
you. He does unbroken eye contact as he's looking at you.
That nice man over there, I told him about how Mary G had told us to meet her here. You know, William, that conversation we had with Mary?
Oh yeah, Mary. She told us to meet her here. Of
Exactly.
course.
She's your close friend.
Lei
Yeah.
leans in, but Mary's been missing.
Second cousin.
She sent a letter.
Twice removed.
She sent a letter and said to meet her here. I didn't bring it with me, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how about that mango teeny? That looks delicious.
To die for.
It might be to die for. It might be cleaning solution.
But he gave us this nice bottle of liquor to bring up to the top floor for our meeting.
No.
And Reggie used his second best quality, his money, to help us get there.
All right.
Beautiful.
Well, I guess let's go meet our friend. Our friend Mary G. He says very loud. He's sweating. Lei then also leans in and he says, "You guys know this is like a front for gangsters, right? Did you notice?
Oh.
Did you notice that this is a gang hideout?" And then when you say that, it's like extremely obvious. Like there's
Like there's
people
a guy
with like.
sharpening a knife for a
Yeah, there's like everyone has the same tattoo.
Got an eye patch.
the tiger claws, you know, we're like going perfect.
Actually,
They're doing the
if anyone-
game with the hand on the table and the knife, you know.
Every single table is doing that. No, if anybody would like to roll spot hidden really quick.
I would.
Sure.
It's a good stat for me, 55. Let's see.
Nothing bad can happen.
Nothing bad can happen. 48. Got it.
Okay.
Oh, I got
That's
a hard success.
and a fail. Ty, you see nothing out of the ordinary. This place seems fine.
He took a drink of that mango tea.
It's hot.
After being pointed out that this could be a front for a gang, because Lei is in gangs and kind of realizes that something's going on here, Max, what you notice is that it seems like every third man in this establishment, so not everybody, but every third man, has what looks like a steering wheel from a ship tattooed on their forearm, or on somewhere on their like body or person somewhere. So like some of them have it on like the back of their hands, some of them have it on their shoulder. You can see it peeking out of people's like tank tops as tattooed onto their back. It seems like whatever gang this is, that is their symbol.
Got it.
And William, you notice that Max kind of like nudges you, points that out, and what you notice is that the two men guarding the door in the gray Western suits also seem to have a tattoo like that poking out on their person somewhere. And what you can kind of recall is that you believe the four-fingered man had a similar tattoo. That guy was covered in tattoos, so it's a little hard to remember if one of them was a ship steering wheel. But you could have sworn that it looks familiar. With that,
it's the semen.
Not the semen.
They're all covered in semen. Each and every one of them.
And with that, we will cut there for tonight. We are in a
I go up to the
house.
guards and I say, mind if we sail on through?
To the other side. No. But we're gonna cut before you talk to the I almost said grocery men. The guards.
The semen.
The semen.